I'm Ron Swanson, and this is the biggest update on our friend Julia that I've done in a long time. We have to be incredibly intelligent, okay? And we need to remove from this any questions that are about who Julia is or isn't. Tonight, we're going to ask ourselves, does this sound fishy? Is this the legal system that I thought we had? And we're going to do 2 shows tonight. We're doing one right here in the Shaun Attwood channel and another one later on my channel. And we're diving in to some pretty interesting things. And what we're going to be addressing here on Shaun's channel are DNA cover-ups, secret groups making, well, not secret groups, but shady groups of shady groups who've had meetings with Julia, and how those meetings add some more fishiness to this. I'm really sorry about the way that I'm talking with this. I just have to do it in a certain way. Now, Julia was arrested in February for, as soon as she touched down in the UK, we all know that she was arrested, and this is really where the next stage of her story began, right? Because up until this point, she was putting forward her evidence for the answers that she wanted to get, or still wants to get. And when you assess the charges, when you look at her situation, and you look at the justice and the oddities that are going to be presented to you, you are not left with any other conclusion that this case is being handled in a different way than a multitude of other cases that involve harassment or stalking. It's interesting because we all know the high-profile ties this case has. And thank you, Lisa. There's a lot of people out there who are on Julia's side. There's a lot of people who aren't on Julia's side. But at this point, we need to be asking ourselves, why is this being handled the way that it is? And we're going to disclose some stuff tonight that has never been disclosed before. And we're going to do it in a very intelligent manner. Okay? So, let's get on to this. So, Julia arrested in February. And you've got to remember, earlier in, I believe it was December, she went into a police station and asked if there was any reason for her to be arrested, if there was any warrants, if there was anything that the police wanted to talk to her about, and they said no. Now, they certainly changed their tune in a space of 8 weeks. Now, keep in mind, all of the contact that Julia had with certain individuals was all based around her wanting to know her identity. And obviously, that's kind of like a last resort, you know? It's kind of a serious last resort after you've burnt out all other avenues, which I have question marks at the end of them as well, as to why it was allowed to get to this point. If there is no conspiracy, why would anyone's family allow it to go this far and not just give this girl what she's asked for? Question mark. Moving on. So Julia is being held in a proper prison with people who have unalived people, people who are serious criminals. And because she is not from the UK, it is very difficult, apparently, for her to get bail. I mean, we're talking about charges with no violence, no threats, nothing. We're talking about a girl who has come with thousands of metaphorical PowerPoint presentation slides of why she feels like being pushed to the end of her tether and having to come in person and ask is their last resort. Narrative has never changed. It's all about answers. And we've all heard phone calls that have taken place between Julia and certain factions of the British police. We've all heard about the budget that has been put in to this investigation for a certain high-profile missing child. And there has been multiple uses of the system, okay? Loopholes and ways for individuals to alter not only dates, but those who are on both sides, not on both sides, but on the highest level of legal decision making. Let's put that. That's you can make your own mind up what that is. The individuals whose job it is to, at the highest level, make the decisions in a courtroom. It's almost like when there's a individual who's maybe showing signs of wanting the actual answers in this case, something happens where dates change and new individuals are brought in at the highest level for that court date. And you'd say to yourself, that doesn't mean anything. That's coincidental. But I'm going to go and just quickly run to the fridge. I thought I'd brought a drink over, but I haven't got a drink. Just give me 30 seconds and just ponder that just for a moment, please. I apologize. All right, apologies, everyone. Thank you. Oh, God, I'm tangled in a wire. Okay, so please like and share. Please like and share. So when we have dates being changed and individuals who work within the legal system at the highest levels who seem to be being shifted around in favor of one side of the narrative that is playing out in this legal case. I can imagine you know which side of this legal narrative I'm referring, because it ain't the side, it ain't the Jedis, right? Okay, it ain't the Jedis. So we're going to talk a lot more about the trials, the hearings, the individuals who are creating this miscarriage of the justice system. But we're going to focus on this live on Shaun's channel on something that took place earlier this year. And what took place was a request, okay? A request by a department or a team of the British police who are at the forefront of a missing girl case. They are at the forefront of it. You may even remember Julia having conversations with some of these individuals on phone calls. A request being made for a private discussion with Julia. And they were told that, you know, lawyers don't need to be present. When I found out this information months ago, I actually got goosebumps, right? Because behind closed doors in dark places, evil deeds be done. And on this day, 2 representatives of this organization, oh no, before that, Julia was